So what are some applicable spiritual disciplines that people need to develop while they're dating? And then we're going to move into some spiritual disciplines that are necessary for when you're married. You do the dating and I'll do the married ones.
Self-control, number one.
Maybe they should take the four that you listed.
Yeah, definitely the four that I listed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, I think another one that a person can develop as it pertains to being in the dating area is that still go back to self-control, because I'm thinking when I create a standard for myself, I'm not raising it down. I'm not letting it down. Mm-hmm. And so if I raise a standard up and I create a standard, I'm not about to be just because somebody come in, look good, smell good, act good, and taste good. Talk good and all this.
Taste all right, Pastor.
If they do all that, that ain't about to make me bring it down. And so I'm just saying, self-control is definitely the number one thing that I think a person need in singleness.
I do. I think I think another great spiritual discipline, because you only gave one for dating, I definitely think that you need to be disciplined enough in knowing how to love and how to care for yourself first. It is so dangerous that when you come into a relationship, you come in very needy. If I'm not disciplined in the place of really knowing who I am and knowing how to care for me and how to love myself, I will become like a weight for you. It'll constantly be, tell me how pretty I am. Tell me how valuable I am. Tell me you can't live without me. I will want you to come in and complete me rather than compliment me. I think it's so important for us to know who we are individually before we assign our lives to somebody. Because if you're talking about marriage, it's for marriage should be a forever commitment. But if I never get to know myself outside of you, that's when it can become very, very dangerous.
Let me ask you this. What is the character trait called when I refuse to compromise? What would I call it?
Character trait when you refuse.
See, because I'm saying that because a single person is going to be tempted daily to come down off the standard and compromise.
Yeah.
And so if you compromise in dating and you allow it in dating, but you really didn't want it, then you mess around and get to the marriage, to the altar, and you continue to go into it because you compromised in dating. Now you got to become this in marriage.
I think you have got to be very sure of your standards and of your boundaries. Yeah. And so often people will come down, and the other part, Pastor James, that's the part. If I've learned self-control and then I've learned patience, I'm not willing to come down to where somebody is just for the sake to say that I'm in a relationship and that I have somebody. I've got to be patient enough to know this person is not aligning with my disciplines in my life right now. So obviously when I get with them, let me tell you now, if you get with somebody and you're thinking that once you marry them that they're going to change, you have set yourself up for failure. Usually marriage comes in and exposes who the person already was prior to you marrying them. So I definitely think, though I don't know what that word would be for you not to compromise. But I do know that if you are really living a disciplined life and you really have standards and you really have boundaries, you're not going to allow. So like we laugh about it, but one of my standards and one of my boundaries is cleanliness. I believe in a clean home. I believe in it's my safe haven. I believe in those things. And so you may be like, I go overboard. It's because I'm not coming off of that. That's my boundary. That is my standard. So I think that in the dating process, you do get to be very selective on what you want, what you desire for your life, and there should be no compromise. And maybe that is the discipline. I have the discipline of no compromise for my life.
Self-discipline. That's what I say. Self-control too.
So that's what dating. I would say for marriage, I think some of the disciplines that we have to have, we got to pray together as partners. I think it's nothing cliche about prayer. There is nothing more intimate than when we go to bed at night, I'll get close by you and I'll say, baby, pray for us.
Yeah, for sure.
It is such a beautiful thing.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
I think a spiritual discipline definitely has got to be prayer. We had another couple that you all saw a previous week, Kristen and Dave, that were on Grace and Truth. Their spiritual discipline is that they worship together. It is nothing like you and your partner being washed in worship.
Prayer and worship
go hand in hand. I think we've got to be disciplined in making sure that we prioritize one another. What we are calling disciplines are also our core values. These are things that are just the core.
You got to be unified too in all fronts.
Yes, absolutely. Any other ones that you want to say? I would say worship, worshiping together, praying together, prioritizing one another.
Unification. Yeah, you got to be unified in thoughts. You got to be loyal to one another. Yeah, you got to be willing to sacrifice. Like the character trait of sacrifice, like the self-discipline of sacrifice is hard to selflessness. It's hard to give up what you want for what somebody else wants.